So today we are starting Unit 2, and we're going to be talking about parallel lines cut by a transversal. Our objective is to be able to identify and apply the properties of angles when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal. And as you walked in, you should have written down that first vocab word for this unit, and it is transversal. So, over here, right? Notice how I labeled it on the picture. T is my transversal. Now, when I think of transversal, I think of, I want to know what it means, and I want to be able to remember it. So maybe this can help you remember what it means. But a transversal, being a line that intersects two or more lines in different points, you could think of like transportation, maybe, and how that when you are transporting, maybe like in a bus, you're going to cross many streets. At least two streets, right? Possibly. So the transversal crosses two parallel lines in this picture. So, given that information, we're going to get 5 angle relationships that you need to know today. That's the goal. Okay? And start with the first one. When we have angles, or what kind of angles are two angles that are in matching positions at two different intersections when cut by a transversal? This is called corresponding angles. Okay? Corresponding angles. They are in the same exact position at different intersections. What I want you to do for this little section, all 4 of those pictures, I want you to label T. So do what I did at the top here. I want you to label T on the transversal for those 4. Okay. Underneath corresponding. Identify the transversal. My first one, there's the line that crosses 2 other lines. That's my T transversal. There's the line that crosses 2 lines, transversal, 2, and oops. So there's the picture for all my transversals. And now what I want to do is on here, I'm going to label 2 angles that are in matching positions at 2 different intersections. So let's label one with an arc. So this right here is my arc. And this arc is at the bottom right of this intersection. So I'm going to go to this other intersection, and I'm going to put an arc at the bottom right. It's going to look like that. Those are corresponding angles because they're the same location shifted down the transversal. Okay? So, on the other one, if I had that as my angle right here, and I shifted it down, it would look like that. Both those angles are at the same location at their different intersections. Now we're gonna take these angles and we're gonna kind of shade them in, make them darker. So right here, I make them bold each angle. And when I bold both of those angles, I end up getting something that looks like the letter what? It does look like the letter F. So that can fill in our next blank up here on the right side. Corresponding angles form the letter F. And that's for fun. Because math is fun. Y'all want to sing the fun song? Remember last year, Miss Murrow, when we sang the fun song? When we were SpongeBob and Patrick? All right. Well, yes, that is the fun song. Let's label these other 2. So if that's my arc, then corresponding would be right there. And if that's my arc, corresponding would be right there. So we've labeled all 4 of those situations. And I'm going to bold them. So, down here at the bottom, corresponding angles, okay, are a certain thing. There's a certain relationship. They're either the same or they're not, okay? And in this situation, this is what we call, in English, alliteration. How many of y'all have heard of the English word alliteration? What does that mean? Same what repeated?
Word, phrase.
No, not word or phrase. Same letter at the beginning of a word, yes. Okay, so the same starting letter, if that's what you meant, right? Okay, so like if I said, Betty bought some butter, but she said the butter's bitter. If I put the bitter batter in my, no, anyways, Sandy sells seashells by the seashore and smells like salad. Okay, but seriously, alliteration is when you start with the same letter. So corresponding, this will help you remember, corresponding is congruent, okay? Double C. Corresponding angles are congruent. So again, CC, corresponding, congruent. Corresponding are congruent. And then at the bottom there, we're going to talk about interior and exterior. So let's take a look at that. Does anyone still need this? Okay, so here we are right here. Now, interior, what does that mean? Inside, right? So interior angles are, if those are my parallel lines, and they are, interior are inside the parallels. Okay, so you can go ahead and fill that in. Inside the parallel is interior, so I put it between the parallels. Between, inside. What do you think exterior will mean? Outside of the parallel lines, which means it could be above or below. Those are both exterior. So, interiors between, exteriors outside. We're going to use that information on the back side, so you can flip it over. So we have talked about one angle relationship, corresponding, and now we are on the back talking about the next one. So, anyone still need this? Okay. On the back. Okay, so on the back, blank angles are two interior angles on opposite sides of the transversal. So we're going to take those two phrases, interior and opposite. Instead of the word opposite, we're going to use the word alternate. Kind of rhymes, not really, but alternate means opposite sides. So these are going to be called alternate interior angles, okay? I want y'all to do the same thing that we've done on the last ones. I want you to label all my T's, all the transversals, please. All four of those need a T on them. T, 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 T. So you should have gotten transversal, 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 transversal. Now, alternate would mean if I have an angle on the inside right here, then I'm going to have another angle on the inside, on the alternate or the opposite side of the transversal. So those two angles, do you agree that they're alternate on the T line, the transversal line, but they're interior for the parallel lines? Alternate, interior. And if I were to make them bold, it does look like a Z. So let's label that on the next three. If that's my interior angle, this one's alternate interior. If that's my interior angle, this one makes it alternate interior. If that one is my interior, that one makes it alternate interior. Okay? Now, alternate interior angles, which I'm abbreviating, alternate interior angles. This is not alliteration, but I'll tell you, they are the same measurement. They are congruent. Okay? Any one of these relationships that says the word alternate in it, those are all congruent. So far, corresponding, we're congruent. Alternate interior are congruent. Our next one, it says blank are two angles in the interior, just like the last one, except on this one, they're on the same side. Okay? So, instead of being called alternate interior, these will be called same side interior. They're on the same side of the transversal, but they're in between the parallel lines. Same side interior. So, let's label all of our T's. Got a transversal here, transversal there, transversal here, transversal there. Now, here's an example. If I have this interior angle, same side interior is going to stay on the exact same side of the transversal. So in this case, above it, and I'm going to get it that angle. Notice how I put two arcs on that one. You'll see why, but they are different angles. If I make those bold, okay, it looks like that. I'm going to do it on this one over here. Those are my two same side interior angles. What letter does that one look like that I just did? The one right there. Yeah, it looks like a C, so we'll go with that. Okay? Same side interior. When you make them bold, looks like a C. Sideways, obviously, looks more like a U. It is what it is. Okay? And let's label the rest of these. So, same side interior, same side interior. So again, same side interior, two angles on the interior on the same side of the transversal. So we're going to write same side interior, angles. Now this one is another, alliteration. So it is going to be SS, same side, is going to be another S. And in this case, they're not equal, but they add up, they make a straight line, which is 180 degrees. What do you call it when two angles make a straight line of 180 degrees? What? I guess no one knows. What? Do you know or no? You don't want to say it? Why not? Okay. What? Supplementary. All right, very good. Supplementary. So, supplementary. If they add up to 180, you got to know that. It's supplementary. So, same side, SS is S. Supplementary. Which means they add up to 180. Okay? Same side. Supplementary. For the interior angles. Now the last two are shorter and they're on the bottom left and the bottom right. So on this one on the bottom left, it says angles are exterior angles. Blank angles are exterior angles. Oh, sorry. First of all, let's label our transversals. We got a T here and a T here. Okay. On the left, what angles are exterior angles on opposite sides? So exterior, opposite. Remember, instead of saying opposite, we're going to say alternate. And this time, instead of being on the inside, we're outside. Exterior. So we do get alternate exterior angles. So on my picture, here's an exterior angle. Alternate exteriors on the other side of the transversal, on the other side of the parallels. It's the farthest away. These two angles down here are alternate exterior. Now luckily this is similar. So alternate interior were congruent. Alternate exterior are also congruent. Both alternates are congruent. All right, and then on the bottom right angle, what kind of angles are on the exterior? Still outside, but this time, same side. So similarly, yeah, same side exterior. If I start with that angle, the same side exterior is on the same side of the transversal, so above, on the other side of the parallel lines. And again, I'm going to put two arcs for a reason. Same side exterior. And like last time, if we see the word same side, it's alliteration. Same side is supplementary. Okay? Which means they add up to 180. Okay? Now you want to use those notes to do this assignment. You're going to identify the angled pairs, and then on the back you're actually going to use that to try to figure out a missing angle. Remember, it's either going to be the exact same angle or it's going to be supplementary. And if it's supplementary, remember that means they add up to 180, so you're going to subtract the one you know from 180. All right.